name is McHale. I live in Norfolk, Massachusetts, and I have a small business called Technology for Memory and Organization. And through that business, I try to help people select technology that will help them to do the things they need to do related to memory and organization. I started in this business about 15 years ago after working in the general field of assistive technology and noticing that there was a lot of knowledge about technology for people who have visual impairments or hearing impairments, but there seemed to be a gap in information about technology for people who had specific memory and organizational difficulties. So I decided to focus on that area of technology, and I'm here today to speak to you about some of the things that I think might be helpful to you in selecting the right product for you so that you can remember the things you want to do and be organized in your daily life. People can have difficulty with remembering and being organized for many different reasons. It kind of cuts across a number of disabilities. People who have learning disabilities might have difficulty remembering things. People who have attention deficit disorder might have difficulty being organized in their daily lives. People who have neurological medical problems like multiple sclerosis or cerebral palsy or Alzheimer's may also have difficulty remembering things. So the technology in this area is something that cuts across a number of different disabilities. For example, sometimes people who have fine motor problems that mean they can't use very small objects may benefit from the same technology that is useful to people who have visual impairments and need large print or large products in order to be able to use them well. So what I am aiming to do is to help you ask questions that will help to identify what type of products might be most useful to you to help with memory and organization. And to do this, I use what I call a framework for decision-making about assistive technology for memory and organization. It involves asking questions about 4 different areas that all interact to produce technology that will be helpful to you and to help you pick the right product and find it. So I'm going to demonstrate a number of different questions or areas in which questions can be asked that might help to identify what kind of product will be most helpful to you to remember what you need to do and to be organized in your daily life. In order to show you how this framework of questions works, I have a number of sheets here that will explain it. This first one represents all of the features that are available in all of the technology products that could possibly help with memory and organization. Then what I do is ask a series of questions to narrow down the specific task that it is that a person wants to do. Is it that you need to remember your medications? Do you need help with your calendar? Do you need help organizing your closet? And then we look at the products that can help with a specific task that it is that you want to do. So if it's remembering medications, we would be looking at the products that can help with organizing medications and even narrowing it down to a very fine level within that task of remembering medications. For instance, I would ask, how frequently do you take medications? How large are the pills that you need to take? How many times a day do you need to take your medication? Is it a liquid or is it a solid caplet? So those are the types of questions that help to define the task that the person wants to do in one specific area, medication management. Someone who is looking to have assistance in managing their calendar might define the task very differently. They might say, I need to remember when my appointments are. I need to remember what to bring with me to my appointments, and those appointments can be described in 3 or 4 words, and what I need to remember can also be written out in 3 or 4 words. I need to have a to-do list that is connected to my daily planner so that I can write down what I need to do before appointments. I need to remember what to bring with me, etc. And there are other areas that people may also have tasks that they want to do where they can very specifically spell out what it is that they need to do. And that is going to limit the number of pieces of technology that would be available to the person to help accomplish that task. And I do suggest that you be as specific as possible in defining the task that you're going to do, because sometimes the smallest facet of a task can make a huge difference in what type of technology will work for you. Thinking again of medication management, one of the basic differences is between liquid medication and capsules. And if you need something to help you remember liquid medication, it's going to be something very different from needing to remember to take capsules or pills every day. So that's a very big distinction right at the very beginning of considering what technology will work for you. So once we've narrowed down the task and found a range of products there, I begin to ask a series of questions about the person who's going to be using the products. And this is represented by this circle in which we consider the individual's abilities, disabilities, goals, and preferences. And you can see that this circle is going to overlap, hopefully, the circle of products that can do the task that the person wants to do. But there will probably be some things that fall outside of that, the person's abilities. For instance, if someone is not able to read, then a medication reminder that requires the ability to read will probably not work for that person. But hopefully there will be a segment of products in this little intersection here between the 2 circles where you will find products that do fit with the individual's abilities, disabilities, goals, and preferences. One thing I do emphasize to people too is the importance of identifying goals and preferences in addition to abilities and disabilities. A person's goals, long-term and short-term, can really affect the technology that will work for them, or should, I would say, actually. For instance, if a person has a goal of being independent, the technology that you choose might be less complex than for a person who is going to have assistance with them every step of the way of using the technology. And it might mean actually picking something that is lower tech that the person can use on their own, say out in the community, and then considering for the future, perhaps when the person has additional abilities in a particular area, a more advanced type of technology. In the area of preferences, that certainly isn't as important an area, really, as abilities, disabilities, and goals, but it can make a big difference when it comes to using the technology on a daily basis. For instance, some people have a really strong preference for paper products, and other people have a really strong preference for a product in a particular color. These are the people for whom purple will make the deal. As long as something is purple, it will be fine. Or again, for people who prefer a paper product, that will make a big difference. I even once heard at a conference a story about students in a high school who were reluctant to use their laptop computers in class until the computers were all painted day-glow orange. And then they loved the computers and were taking them around to every class. So it's important to consider those things when you're trying to choose technology for someone. And the last area that needs to be considered when you're asking questions about a particular technology is the environment where the technology will be used. And this could mean something like, will this technology be used at home, or will it be used in the car, or will it be used out in public on public transportation? Will it be used in an office where you're sitting in cubicles where other people might hear alarms or might hear conversations or might hear a voice-activated system? And some people have privacy concerns and don't want that kind of information to be audible to other people. Another consideration related to the environment is, will the device need to be portable? And if it is portable, can it be battery operated, or can you have a portable charger with you, or a power bank that will enable you to use the technology when you're out and about for the day? Again, looking at medication reminders, this is one area where you can see that very easily having an effect. If you are primarily going to be taking medications, let's say 2 times a day, 1 in the morning and 1 at night, and you are at home at both of those times, then you will certainly be able to use a little pill reminder at your nightstand or on your desk or at the kitchen table. But if you are going to be out during the day and need to take medication 2 or 3 times during the day, then a big pill reminder product probably would not work unless you kept it in a bag or a purse. So you might need to come up with some alternative system for taking medication while you're out and about. And when all of these features have been considered, okay, and the questions have been answered, when you've looked at all of the technology that is available for technology for memory and organization, the tasks that you want to do, the environment where the technology will be used, and the individual's abilities, disabilities, goals, and preferences, there will hopefully be a number of products that meet all of those areas' needs and that are available. And that's what this star is here in the center. This is where the ideal product for a particular person would be. And you can use this concept of asking questions about these different areas of technology, either when you are considering what products might be helpful, or when you see a particular product that you think you might want to use, you can evaluate it as appropriate for you or for the person you're looking for technology for by considering how each of these questions could be answered related to that particular product. Hopefully, by going through a series of questions to help you with decision making, there will be faster use of technology that is helpful to solve whatever memory and organizational problem needs to be solved. And I hope there will also be less abandoned technology, which is where you go when you buy a product thinking that it will be the right thing for you, and you get back at home or at work and discover that it just does not work in the environment where you are, or for the task that you need to do, or based on the person's abilities, disabilities, goals, or preferences. Now I'm going to demonstrate several types of medication reminders to illustrate some of the points about thinking about the person's abilities, the task that you need to do, the environment where the product will be used, and the features of the available technology. And the first piece of medication reminder technology that I'm going to show you is a one-row pill reminder, and this is available at many different pharmacies and general stores. This particular one is for taking medication 1 time a day. It has 7 different boxes, and it's just 1 row. It would hold a number of pills, I would say. It's not the smallest pill reminder that is available. There are pill reminders that are about half the size of this. So this would hold probably 5 or 6 pills. And it would be useful if you are taking medication at home or at work. Actually, you could fit something like this into a purse and take it with you. I would suggest putting it inside a small plastic bag in case any of the doors pop open. I have had doors pop open and pills spill out, and if that's going to happen, it would be better to have them spill into a small plastic bag. This particular pill reminder would be good for some people with visual impairments of some sort because it has raised lettering. It's the initial of each day, and if someone could not read the letters because of their vision impairment, but they could feel the letter on each little box, then they would know which day it was. And this particular pill reminder also has markings in Braille in the bottom corner here. So a person who reads Braille would be able to know which day they were taking the pills for. The next thing I would look at would be the hinge or the latch of each little box, and these are fairly easy to use, and they are bigger than some of the smaller boxes, so a person who had some degree of fine motor difficulty might be able to use this particular size and style of medication reminder. There are also medication reminders like this one, which are perfect for people who have to take medication 2 times a day. This one is labeled AM and PM, so it presumes that you would be taking 1 set of pills in the morning and 1 set at night, and it again is a 7-day pill reminder. The 2 pill reminders are attached. They're not separate reminders, so this would probably make most sense on a table somewhere rather than being something that you would take with you. But if you had the appropriate size bag, you could take it with you. A couple of interesting things about this pill reminder related to abilities are that it uses abbreviations for the days of the week: Sat, Fri, Thursday, when, etc. And also for the time of day, AM and PM. And there are people whose cognitive abilities are such that they would not be able to understand that Sat stands for Saturday and that Fri is Friday. So this particular pill reminder would not work for people who had that difficulty. Also, the abbreviation for AM and PM, a person would need to be able to use the abbreviation for AM and PM in order to be able to take pills from this pill reminder. The hinges are pretty easy to use, and they're a good size again. And this particular pill reminder has a rounded bottom, which makes it easy to remove pills. Not every pill reminder has a rounded bottom like that, and some people might have difficulty getting pills out of a square-shaped bottom, but this one is designed for easy removal of the pills. The color coding is also helpful. Some people really relate to color coding and would associate blue with night and I guess orchid or purple with the daytime, but it does help you to remember which segment of the pill reminder you should be taking your pills from. Just one interesting caution about a pill reminder like this is that I have seen some people who have a mild cognitive impairment have difficulty with the fact that this row, the nighttime row of pill reminders, goes from Saturday to Sunday, and the daytime row of pills goes from Sunday to Saturday. What happens is that the Sunday pills are next to each other, so when you reverse the order, it reads backwards on the other side. That is not a problem for everyone. Some people might find that helpful, but it's just something to be aware of if you're working with someone who has a difficulty with things like that and would be inclined to think that this is Sunday instead of Saturday, the end of the week. There is another kind of pill reminder that also is suitable for use at home, and this is the 7-day, 4 times a day pill reminder. And this one has several interesting features that make it different from these two. First of all, the day of the week is spelled out completely on each pill reminder box, and the time of day is also spelled out completely. So it's Sunday morning, Sunday noon, Sunday evening, Sunday bedtime. So this would work very well for someone who had a cognitive impairment that meant that they couldn't understand abbreviations, but who was able to read whole words. This pill reminder is also very easy to open. It has a push button that undoes the latch, and then you take the pills out. It also has a rounded bottom, which makes it easier to remove the pills. And this pill reminder has a label on the packaging that is very helpful for some people who have fine motor difficulties. It could be for because of arthritis, it could be because of cerebral palsy, anything that affects your ability to use your fine motor skills. There's a label on it that says Arthritis Foundation Ease of Use. So you know that this has been tried with people who have fine motor problems and does seem to work well for them. And again, there is a type of color coding here where morning is yellow and daytime is blue and green and purple for nighttime. It's a different set of color coding than that one, but it is still color coding. So this might work for someone who needs to take medication 4 times a day, who is going to use it at home. Those are the environmental concerns. And it would be a little problematic for someone who had to take medication, let's say, 6 or 7 different times a day. You would need to incorporate either another set of reminders like this, or find a way to group your pills so that it would work with a 4 times a day reminder. Now, these pill reminders all presume that someone is going to be able to use a pill reminder appropriately. There are some people who are unable to use a pill reminder because they don't grasp that they should just take 1 compartment of pills at a time. I have heard of people who, when given a pill reminder or a pill organizer like this, will take all the pills that are available in the pill reminder at the same time. And I'm sure you realize that that could lead to serious medical problems, overdosing on particular medications. So as far as cognitive abilities go, before using any kind of a pill reminder, you would need to know that the person was able to understand that they take only the pills that are in the reminder for that particular time and that particular day. Sometimes there are medications that need to be taken as needed, and I have here an illustration of a product that is actually a custom-made medication reminder. It's a paper reminder for as-needed medication, and it enables people to track the total dosage that they have taken for the day of a medication. It could be a pain medication. It could be a medication that it is actually primarily pain medication. Sometimes it's prescription and sometimes it's over-the-counter. But it sort of is taken on the as-needed basis. But sometimes medications will specify that there have to be a minimum number of hours between doses, such as needed, but no more than every 4 to 6 hours. And especially if you're in pain, sometimes it can be hard to remember when you took the medication last and when you should take it again, or when you should not take the medication before that particular hour. So this is something that I created for someone who had a problem remembering how many over-the-counter pain medication pills she had taken. And this was an enormous help for that, okay? This is a laminated version of it, and this would be good for someone who is going to be using this every day and does not need a record, a daily record of the medication that they have taken. You could fill this out each day and use a reusable pen, and then rub it off for the next day, and you're good to go for the next day. But this enables you to track the number of pills you've taken and when you can take the next dose. In this column, it says, okay to take the next dose after AM or PM. And you fill in the time there, which is at least 4 hours, say, after this dose. And then this last column is where you can total the daily cumulative amount of the medication that has been taken. There are some medications that say this can be taken every 4 to 6 hours, but not more than, say, 3,200 milligrams in a day. So you can figure out the total milligrams in each dose and then add them up in this column going down here, and if you get close to the maximum daily dosage that you may need to stop taking the medication for the day. But this is very helpful to help a person know when they can take their pain medication again. They don't have to wonder. They don't have to forget when they took it last. It enables you to see easily when you can take medication again. And I haven't seen this particular type of medication reminder anywhere before, and that was the reason for creating this individualized custom product for someone. One of the advantages of, and this was just done on a computer, one of the advantages of doing that is that you can adjust the font of the type so that if a person has a visual impairment or just does better reading bold print, you can change it. This is the original chart to illustrate how it works. This was a modification that was enlarged and made bold and printed out for a specific person who needed this size font for both visual reasons and also for fine motor reasons. These spaces that the medication is recorded in are big enough for a person with some fine motor difficulty to record the information. This smaller one might be something that someone could easily put in a purse or something and take with them during the day. But the type is, the font is smaller and it's not bold. So those two things would need to work for the individual person it was designed for. This also could be done as a paper printout from the computer. It's the same information, but it's done on an individual piece of paper. And if someone, for instance, has a visiting nurse coming to see them who wants to see what they've been taking for the medication, you could print one of these out every day and fill it out and save it in a folder and then show it to the visiting nurse so that they would see how the person's pain medication is going. So those are just a few of the medication reminders that are available. These are definitely on what I would call the low-tech end. Certainly paper is about as low-tech as you can get. And these are very simple, very inexpensive medication reminders that can help people to take the medication as prescribed. And also, I think one very important thing is that knowing whether you've taken your medication or not, like being able to just look at a little box and say, oh, I did take it. I don't have to worry anymore. It can be a source of great relief from anxiety of worrying about whether you've taken your medication. And for people who are taking medication to prevent serious medical problems like seizures, that kind of relief of anxiety can be extremely important. But there are far more advanced technological medication reminders. There are electronic medication reminders that can be set up to dispense pills on a monthly basis. And they're set up for a month for 28 days, and then each day a timer goes off and the pills are released into a little cup at the bottom of the dispenser. And those can really be helpful for some people, especially someone who cannot handle a pill reminder like this, where they have to open the container themselves and realize which one to take. But with the electronic medication reminder, you just go and pick up the little cup of pills at the right time, and then you take them. And then many of them have a locking feature so that the person can't take more medication. It will only work at a specific time. And this is often used in conjunction with a visiting nurse who will perhaps fill the medication reminder. So there are all kinds of medication reminders on many different levels that will work for different people. Some of them are available in ordinary retail stores, and many of them are through specialty catalogs, and some of them actually come with in-home care to help you get it set up. But if you consider all of the person's needs related to the task that needs to be done, their abilities, their preferences, the environment where they're going to be taking medication, there is most likely a medication reminder out there that can be helpful. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please contact me. My name is Kathy McHale. The business is Technology for Memory and Organization. And my email address is cognidata@hotmail.com. And I will spell that. It's COGNIDATA @hotmail.com. Thank you very much.